Hello, my name is Logan and I'm your host, the Mighty Pirate. In today's video, I'm going over the free Rasalhague Republic. My sources for today's video are 20-year update, Jihad Final Reckoning, Field Manual 3085, Field Manual Star League Defense Force, and of course, Sarna.net. Disclaimer, there will be mispronunciations. Remember, I'm incompetent, not malicious. The origins of the free Rasalhague Republic date to the mythic age when interstellar travel was so new that only the adventurous or the desperate dared tried it. After the Second Soviet Civil War, Scandinavia was left with the double burden of paying assessments to rebuild the Soviet states, while dealing with the influx of more than 1 million Soviet refugees. The Federal Democratic Republics of Sweden, Finland, and Norway coped stoically, though the war-damaged taxes continued until the mid-23rd century. When the levy finally ended, many citizens decided to emigrate, selecting a planet far from the oppression and bureaucracy of Terra. Within 60 years, these Scandinavians had colonized and heavily populated Rasalhague and its 8 nearest neighbors. In the late 23rd century, the people of the region created the Rasalhague Consortium, a joint government to oversee further development of their worlds. The consortium included all of the world lords and members of powerful families. The highest government official was elected prime minister. As the consortium came in contact with its neighboring states and associations, it evolved into the Principality of Rasalhague, headed by the elected prince. The people of Rasalhague became known for their isolationism, being more concerned with expanding and developing their own worlds in a way least damaging to the environment. Despite Rasalhague's political neutrality, the Draconis Combine harassed it and eventually attacked it. By 2330, they had conquered the Principality. After being incorporated into the Combine as the Rasalhague Military District, the region changed little. Though Combine leaders encouraged their citizens to immigrate to the newly created district, these colonists never outnumbered their Scandinavian counterparts, nor were they able to delude the native customs. Before the Fourth Succession War, the official language of the region was Cretan Japanese, but the vast majority continued to speak Swedish. Even from the earliest days of Krita rule, secret societies attempted to instigate rebellions, but all failed because of the lack of coordination among the rebel groups. In 3029, the Lyrian Commonwealth invited the Rasalhague resistance leaders to a meeting on Tamar. The Tamar talks lasted for 3 weeks, during which time the rebels learned of the existence of the Tyr Regiment, a unit of assault mechs sponsored and trained by the Lyrian Commonwealth Armed Forces, but manned by Rasalhagian exiles. The unit shared the name of the underground movement Rasalhague Military District. The secret regiment had made a stunning appearance on Kirchbach, prompting a revolt among the people at the Tamar meeting. The Rasalhague resistance leaders coordinated plans for uprisings with the projected Lyrian Commonwealth armed force invasions. Archon Katrina Steiner also signed the intention of the Free Rasalhague Peoples, a document that recognized the Tyr as the official Rasalhague government in exile. During the Fourth War, Tyr members provided the Lyrian military with details on terrain, targets, and enemy locations. Its members also undertook hundreds of commando missions deep behind the enemy lines to disrupt Draconis Combine military service communication and logistics. The Tyr Battletech Regiment played an equally important role in the Commonwealth's war effort. The end of the Fourth Succession War did not bring about the creation of a free Rasalhague as the Tyr had hoped. For one thing, the Lyrians had not conquered all the worlds the Tyr wanted, including Rasalhague. Indeed, many Tyr members believed the Lyrians had stopped short of conquering all the former Principality worlds, purely to prevent the rebels from forming a sovereign state. The disgruntled Tyr members became even angrier when the Lyrian planetary administrators arrived on the conquered worlds. Under orders from Duke Selvin Keloasa of the Tamir Pack, they took over from the military administrators without acknowledging the tier or its claim to rule. In their frustration and anger, several extremist tier groups bombed government buildings on 7 worlds in February 3031, injuring one planetary administrator. Despite objections by the Commonwealth officials, Duke Kelwasa reacted by ordering the arrest of tier leaders, most of whom were on Tamir at the time. He ordered mass trials in which the tier leaders were convicted in a mockery of the Lyrian judicial process. By the time Archon Steiner learned of the situation, the trials were over. The tier leaders had been languishing in Tamir jails for a week, while aggressive Tamir-packed police forces brutally mishandled demonstrators in riots on the conquered worlds. Infuriated, the Archon freed the tier leadership, publicly berated the Duke of Tamir for overstepping his authority, and apologized to the tier in hopes of salvaging some goodwill. The damage caused by Duke Kelwasa could not be undone, however, and the Archon saw that the newly conquered Rasalhague worlds would never consent to join the Commonwealth. The best she could hope for was to continue negotiations with the tier so that the leaders of a new Rasalhague state would lean more towards the Commonwealth than the Draconis Combine. On March 13th, 3034, Hakan Magasin, a tier political leader, declared the creation of the Free Rasalhague Republic, affirmed its independence from either the Draconis Combine or the Lyrian Commonwealth, and announced that he would be the elected prince. Comstar immediately recognized the new realm, and the Draconis Combine followed suit the next day. That House Kurita would willingly give up so many of its star systems was a shock to the whole inner sphere, and it also left the Steiner government in a poor bargaining position with the tier. Archon Steiner felt obligated to turn over the Free Rasalhague Republic. Most of the Rasalhague worlds the Lyrian Commonwealth armed forces had captured during the Fourth War, though it infuriated the already angry Duke of Tamar. The withdrawal of Combine troops from its former Rasalhague military district did not go smoothly. Many Combine soldiers refused to leave because of their violent disagreement with the decision to cede the worlds to the Free Rasalhague Republic. Others refused to abandon citizens to the danger of backlash from the newly formed government, a threat that became a reality. Other unit commanders felt that too many Kurita troops had died defending these worlds to now just give them up without a struggle. Seeing this military insurrection as a direct challenge to his future rule of the Draconis Combine, Kanri Theodore Kurita declared all disobedient units Ronin, Japanese for masterless. With Prince Magasin's permission, he led a force of loyal regiments back into the Republic to battle Ronin units. The Ronin Wars, as they became known, were a series of short, violent clashes between the Ronin, which added up to about 8 regiments, and the allied forces of the Royal Rasalhague Army, and the Draconis Combine military service units led by Warlord Theodore Kurita. The Royal Rasalhague Army, just weeks old, received its baptism by fire, defending its homeworlds and cities from Ronin units, many of which were skilled and experienced. The Royal Rasalhague Army fought better than expected, due in part to the assistance of the Combine and the Lyrian officers present in the Republic to help build the military. On many occasions, these visiting officers stepped in to assume command of the Rasalhague units against the Ronin at a crucial moment. The Ronin Wars created a deep hatred for mercenaries among the Free Rasalhague Republic citizens. Because of poorly negotiated contracts, some mercenaries refused to enter battle because they claimed the requirement of their contracts had already been fulfilled. Though the mercenaries were usually within their rights, the people did not see it that way. Ironically, the Free Rasalhague Republic later had to hire more mercenaries, some of whom made huge demands on the government to combat growing pirate activity on the Republic's border with the periphery. The Ronin Wars ended with the withdrawal of the last Draconis Combine military service regiment across the border into Combine's Al Shane military district in December 3035. For the first time in its short life, the free Rasalhague Republic was peaceful. This will conclude my video on the Rasalhague Republic. If you'd like to know more about the Rasalhague Republic and what happened after the Ronin Wars, let me know down in the comments section. Till then, see you on the battlefield.